This is insane, seeing all you people here. That's mad. The Rock's there. This is crazy.
And I realised this morning that that has been a kind of soundtrack for my life for this last year since Baby Reindeer came out. I cannot believe any of this is happening to me.
Fiona Harvey is absolutely seething right now after Baby Reindeer, Richard Gadd and Jessica Gunning pick up 2 more awards for the hit Netflix show Baby Reindeer, that of course aired on Netflix around almost a year ago at the Golden Globes 2025. It was a fantastic evening for Baby Reindeer. Richard Gadd's first ever nomination, he gets a dub. Baby Reindeer's first ever nomination, gets a dub. He walks away with 2 more awards under his belt, right? So that's an Emmy now and a Golden Globe. So he's doing really, really well. And of course, you know, that doesn't really tickle the fancy of the inspiration for the Martha character, aka Fiona Harvey. But before we get into that, she has, you know, been very outspoken about it. But let's take a look at the moment that Richard Gadd won the award.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, thank you. This is insane, seeing all you people here. That's mad. The Rock's there. This is crazy. I can't believe it. Honestly, I grew up in you, man. This is nuts. Honestly, the way this city, the way you guys have embraced this show is unbelievable. It means the absolute world to me, to us. You know, we're so grateful to Netflix, by the way, for this story, for giving me the chance to tell this messed up kind of story to the world. Thank you to Anne and Lindsay for taking the chance. Thank you to Clockenwell Films, Matt, Petra, Ed, Wim. Thank you to our amazing cast, Jess and Nava. Thank you to our directors, Veronica, Josephine. Thank you to our producer, Matthew, and all the amazing people that worked on the show. Now, you know, a lot of people sometimes ask me why Baby Reindeer, why a show this dark has gone on to be the success that it's had. And I think in a lot of ways, people were kind of crying out for something that kind of spoke to the kind of painful inconsistencies of being human. I think for a while now, there's been this kind of belief in television that stories that are too dark and complicated won't sell and no one will watch them. So I hope that Baby Reindeer has done away with that theory, because I think right now, when the world's in the state that it's in and people are really struggling, we need stories that speak to the complicated and difficult nature of our times. You know, any story when done right is universal, and all the weird, idiosyncratic struggles we go through on a daily basis are just as worthy of being committed to screen as any. So commissioners, streamers, when you're totting up the numbers and putting together the budgets for this year, remember to keep some back for the little person to tell their story. Thank you so much.
I mean, fair play. I mean, he had an opportunity and the man took it. You can't argue with that, really, can you? He did really well. Just classic Richard Gadd response. Of course, that wasn't the only award for the night. The other award came from for Jessica Gunning, as the Best Supporting Female Actor for her role as Martha within Baby Reindeer. Of course, allegedly, Fiona Harvey.
Wow. Hello. Well, I almost tripped up. You nearly saw my Golden Globes then. Thank you very much. This is an absolute honour. Honestly. There's a video of me when I was little. I was about 8 years old, and my mum and dad got me a hamster for Christmas, and they brought it out in this bin bag, in a cage, kind of thing, just in a bin bag. Happy Christmas. And I've got a very Yorkshire accent, and I just kept saying, I can't believe this is happening to me. I can't believe this is happening to me. And I realised this morning that that has been a kind of soundtrack for my life for this last year since Baby Reindeer came out. I cannot believe any of this is happening to me. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who let me come on this journey. Thank you to Clockenwell Films and Netflix, our incredible directors, our amazing cast and crew. Thank you to my agents at Malcolm Foggett and Owen, John T, Alice and Frankie, and all my friends and family who I love more than anything. And of course, thank you to Richard Gadd. Baby Reindeer has changed my life in ways that I can't even explain. So thank you for everything. I can't believe this is happening to me. And I know that 8-year-old me wouldn't either. She'd be absolutely chuffed to bits. So thank you very, very much. Cheers.
There you go. So, you know, very well deserved in my opinion. You know, walking away with many, many accolades. But Richard Gadd again did another interview after the Golden Globes, you know, kind of on that like backdrop thing where the winners go and do a little speech to talk a little bit more when they've got a bit more time compared to when they're up on stage.
Jen, this is your first win.
Yeah.
I know when you were writing Baby Reindeer, you were like, I could see this as a series.
Yeah.
Was there any part of you that saw yourself here?
I think it just wasn't on my radar. You know, when you work, because I wrote the show over in the UK, And in the UK, it was such an idiosyncratic show. It was such a weird show. It was such a kind of singular show, and the subject matter is so dark.
Yeah.
I never thought it would have exploded like this. Never would have thought it would have even come into my mind. Something like the Golden Globes. It just wouldn't have come into my mind. So it surprised us all in the best possible way. I'm thrilled. I'm chuffed. It's like a dream. It's amazing.
It's such a good series. It's one of my
Thank
favorite series all year. I know everybody loved it here. Everybody was talking about it. And what you said on stage makes so much sense about, telling these darker stories.
Yeah.
Do you have in mind what kind of story you'd want to talk about next or tell next?
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it. I think when I speak about that, I think that there has been just a general, I would say, slight disconnect. I think the world is in a very weird state of flux right now, and I think it's almost the duty of television as an art form to sort of reflect that back at people in a way. I think that dark is and complicated stories are usually people misconstrue as off-putting when I actually think they can be the most powerful stories of all, because I think everyone in their life goes through really difficult times, and I think it actually helps them to see that reflected back at them on screen. I'm working on a new show next. It's called Half Man. It's with Jamie Bell. It's a BBC HBO show, and it's. I can't really say too much about it, but yeah, it's dark and challenging. I hope it reflects life. I'll work my hardest on it and just hope it comes off. But yeah, I really want to see more human stories on screen.
I mean, that's really exciting that you have more coming out. I'm very excited about that.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone is going to be very excited about this.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
Now, I don't want to ask you how you prepared for a role that was you.
Yeah.
But did you find you had to take time to kind of digest what was happening on screen when you were done shooting?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it took a long time to unwire myself from Baby Reindeer. When it finished, it was all consuming, and when it finished, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so thin when I shot it. I lost all this weight. I was 68.8 kilograms. I lost like a third of my body weight, and then I had to get used to kind of eating properly again, and I had to get used to kind of, because I kind of unlocked a lot of the trap door to a lot of shit that I've been through in my life, and I had to kind of figure out how to close that trap door again. So yeah, it was tough, and it took a lot of time to rewire myself back to a steady state. But yeah, so it was tough. It was tough for sure.
I can imagine it was tough, but I guess it's all worth it when you're sat there with a Golden Globe in one hand and an Emmy back home. You can't argue with it. But, of course, this was never, ever going to go down particularly well with the one and only Fiona Harvey, who, of course, outed herself over on Piers Morgan's Uncensored YouTube channel when she did the bombshell interview back in May of last year. Basically saying, I am the real life inspiration for Martha. All right, and it's obviously led to like the lawsuit of $170 million. It's very well trodden ground, especially on this channel. But she has hit out after the Netflix show picked up 2 more television awards. Richard Gere and co-star Jessica Gunning collected Golden Globes at a star-studded ceremony held in Beverly Hilton Hotel in California. Last night, Harvey 59 fumed. Netflix have flogged this story to death while my life has been a living hell. That's been quoted. In collecting his award, Gad also picked up an audience at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, that he was so grateful to Netflix for giving him the chance for us to tell a messed up story to the world. He added, honestly, the way that this city and you guys have embraced the show is unbelievable, and it means the world to me, to us. A lot of people talk about it. Obviously, this is all para-quoted from the interview that we've just watched, so we'll skim through that. But in the winner's room, Gad touched on the show becoming a controversial following the lawsuit filed against Netflix by Harvey, who claimed to be the real Martha Scott. Gad said, I can't go into too much detail on these matters. 2024 was a crazy year full of ups and downs and ins and outs. It was quite hard at times for me to find my feet. He added, it took a long time to unwire myself from Baby Reindeer. When it finished, it was all consuming. We've obviously watched that interview as well. He obviously told about being hounded by a vicious stalker and sexually assaulted by a mentor. The opening claims this is a true story. Almost tipping the stairs to collect her award, Jessica Gunning, we know all about that stuff. But Harvey said, I did not watch it. Friends of mine have drawn my attention to it. So obviously, she's not really said loads regarding this, but the Daily Record reached out. I think the Daily Record was one of the first outlets to really reach out to Fiona Harvey after the show came out, and it was like one of the first places she kind of outed herself before she went on Piers Morgan, and then did it on an enormous scale to almost 15 million people. But, you know, she said, Netflix have flogged the story to death while my life has been a living hell. Clearly not particularly happy, but then again, she never was going to be because the show literally portrays her in the worst way possible. But then again, some of the things that we've read from lawsuits and stuff like that literally show that she might actually be worse in real life. Allegedly. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.